o'clock. And so there's no sense in us waiting to get started. But before we get started tonight, we always like to share some excitement that's going on, whether it's on your personal team, or maybe you've had successes in your personal business. Would anybody like to share? We're going to take a couple minutes to do some peer sharing.
I would like to share.
Okay, go ahead, Jennifer.
I got my official email today that I promoted to director. And yeah, I I can't believe this business. I just can't believe this all happened so fast. I I started in the spring attending somebody else's party, then had a bunch of parties booked off of my party, and Beth Atterbury was like, "I'll give you all these parties if you want to start." And it was during the 1999 apron thing, and I started, and the whole thing's a blur, and I'm just like so blessed, and I can't believe I have amazing girls on my team. I don't know. This is crazy. I'm just so excited to see what comes.
Well, we are super excited for you as well, and you are just hit the ground running with your business, and you're doing some big things, girl. So just hold on tight, and I can't wait to see what happens next in your business. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, who else would like to share?
I will.
Okay, go
It's
ahead.
Pauline. I made level 1 of the trip last night. So I'm excited about that. Onward to level 2.
That is amazing, Colleen. And for those of you that did not even know that there was a trip included in this whole Pampered Chef journey that you're on, I'm so glad, Colleen, that you mentioned that, because we do. We have 3 different level trips that you can earn, and you have until December 31st. So I love the way that Colleen says she's earned level 1 and off to level 2. And Colleen, there's no doubt, girl, I'm going to be seeing you in the Bahamas in May of 2021. Congratulations.
I'm excited.
Believe me, once you go on your very first trip with Pampered Chef, you will want to earn that trip each and every year. And your spouse or your significant other will totally be on board after you take them along with you on that trip. So congratulations, Colleen. Who
Thank
else
you.
would like to share? Come on, don't be shy, don't be bashful. It can be anything.
Hi, Jennifer. It's Erica.
Okay, go ahead, Erica.
So I love these meetings. It's so great to hear how everybody else does. And then personally, sometimes it's hard because you're like, wow, I didn't get a $2,000 party. I didn't get something else. So it's been a slow start to my first month, but I've now gotten my second pan and had a big party that was, for me, it was a big one. So it was near $1,500 with 3 bookings, which was like my first moment, like I got it. So don't give up if it feels like a slow start for you. It comes, and your time will come.
Well, and I'm glad that you said that too, Erica, because like you said, I mean, sometimes everybody has a different start, and everyone, some people hit the ground running hard, some people are like slow paced like I was. And but once you put that time and energy into your business, you're going to get back what you put into your business. So I'm so glad, Erica, you did not give up. You kept showing up, and especially to these Monday night calls, because they are so very special and so very powerful. So congratulations on your
Thank you.
$1,500 party. That's a lot to be excited about. Okay, so we have time for 2 more people to share.
I'll share.
All right, come on, Dee. What you got, girl?
I've got a new recruit. She's on the phone. She's on the call tonight. Her name's Tanya. She just started last week. She's already running her 3rd party, and she's already earned her egg cooker from last week's parties. So she's She's rocking it.
Wow. And she
Yes.
just started last week.
She just started last week. Yeah. She's on her third party already. So
Well,
killing it.
congratulations, Tanya. No doubt, girl, you are hitting the ground running.
And I had another one sign up tonight. So
Way to go, G. Congratulations.
thank you.
All right, who else would like to share?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead, Denise.
I just started last week. My first parties start next week, and I already have my first recruit. And I've got 11 parties booked.
Oh my gosh, like where did you come from? Like you just got started and you've got your first recruit and 11 parties, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So where do you feel like did you go to Dash? Did you get plugged into the units? Did you just go and like ask a ton of people? Share with us, Denise.
Well, I've been doing the dash and the unit training, and I've sent out about 90 messages, I think, on Facebook. And I had 5 parties booked from my original party where I signed up at. So Cammie gave me those. And then my daughter used to sell Pampered Chef, or used to sell Celebrating Homes, and she really enjoyed it, but the support wasn't there that she needed. So she's been watching me go through this journey so far, and so she's like, I'll sell it. So I'm like, all right, there we go, there's one. And I've got a couple other people that I think probably will sign up for me. So
Well, you are definitely doing all the right things and getting plugged in. And congratulations on all your successes. And you're doing an amazing job.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I speak up?
Sure, go ahead, Molly.
Hi, I'm a director this week. I'm so excited. Fast track director. Yay. So that's my big news.
Well, congratulations, Molly. That's a lot to have. That's a lot to be excited about. So,
Yes.
way to go.
Yeah. So I started mid-March. Mid-May, excuse me. So fast track. So super excited. So thank you.
And then who's your upline director?
Rindy Burbank. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Rindy, and then Lindsay, and then Kelly, and then Love.
Oh, well, congratulations, Molly, and super excited for you to be on the director team. And way to go. That's super exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. So we are going to cut that short because we've got a lot of great information to share with you guys tonight. And let's see, I have not seen Annette and Amy yet, but Annette Wallace, are you on the telephone, my dear?
They should both be here.
There she is.
I'm here. Should be able to see me now. Yes. And Amy should be on here as well.
Hey, Annette, we might need you to call in because your internet drags a lot. And we're having a hard time hearing you. You want me to message you the phone number to call in, or do you have it?
Okay. Well, gosh.
So Jennifer, if you want to move on with Elena,
I'm going to look for it real quick.
I won't be able to hear.
Okay. So while we
You
wait
might
for
want to shoot it to me, love. Do you have it?
Yep, I'll get it to you. You go ahead, Jennifer.
Okay, so while we wait for Annette and Amy, we're going to go ahead and skip. And all right, so this is what I want to talk about is there is a director on my team that actually started with Pampered Chef 2 years ago in July. She had a pretty slow start to the business, but the reason why I want her to share tonight is because, guys, listen, there's probably some of you on this call tonight that you feel like you have called in every single Monday night for a while now. And you keep hearing of all these people having all this huge successes, whether it's they promoted a fast track director, or maybe they're having these large number of sales in their parties, and they're getting the bookings and so forth. But she holds a really dear place in my heart because she has never given up over the past 2 years with her Pampered Chef journey. She's been in my 5-5 in the past. She's came to a director retreat, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the director retreat where she came. Not long after that, she promoted to a director. And so I've asked Alina Davey to come on this evening and share a little bit more about her journey with Pampered Chef and how, she did take, and hey, I was a slow trained person as well, but I want her really to speak about why she never gave up and where her team is going now that they have just most recently promoted. So, Alina, I'm turning it over to you, dear.
Okay. Well, as Jennifer said, I started 2 years ago, and when I started, I thought I am not going to do a whole lot. I actually started Pampered Chef because we were having a very difficult year, and I needed a distraction. And I knew I loved Pampered Chef products because I had actually been a consultant probably 17, 18 years ago now. But I had 2 small children, and that was cooking show days, and that was just too much. But when I found out we could do virtual parties now, I thought, I can do that. I can stay at home and take care of my family and do the virtual parties. But, and like I say, I didn't get into it to do a show here, a show there. But the more I kept hearing, and I had managed to get into the team groups with Jennifer because my recruiter just disappeared. And so I didn't have any help. And I started asking questions. And I started saying, okay, what do I do about this in the party? Or what do I do about that? And so Jennifer finally invited me to the fast track calls. And I started listening, and I started doing a little bit of there. And a year ago at this time, I didn't have any parties. There were months that I would go without anything. And then Jennifer invited me to the director's retreat back in February. And I told her, I said, I'm a slow turtle. By the end of the year, I plan on promoting to director. And I don't know what happened, whether it was COVID or whether it was some of the different promotions that we had at the time, but I was able to finally get enough recruits and enough sales that I got it down to where I had to have 2 more that were active. And I don't have family that I can recruit. I can't do the friends and family plan. Most of my friends we're a real small, close-knit group. So they didn't want to do parties because I was always having trouble doing the parties. And we got it down to where I had 2 recruits, and Jennifer said, we are not letting $300 stop you. Let's work with them and get them qualified. And back the 1st of July is when I promoted. So, if I were to tell anybody to do it again, I would say that you need to start out strong. Where I started out thinking I'm going to just do a show here and there, I would say do what we're saying do with the 4 parties a week. Push to get as many on your calendar, because you can always back off if you find out it's too much. But it is so much harder to build from nothing. At least with starting out strong, you've got a customer base to move from as you try to do it. And I would say ask questions. And I don't mean just asking for bookings and recruiting. I'm meaning ask your upline, ask people in our teams groups if you have a problem, but also do the research yourself. Try to find your answers. so that you're not depending on somebody else to give you the answer. And I would say to have a greater purpose. Making the money is nice, but I'll tell you, my shows average $300 a lot of times. I have to do a lot of shows to get these, and my biggest check has been like $1,600 in the 2 years that I've done it. And so you need a bigger purpose. I mean, mine is, we've gotten it down to 1 semester, and my daughter's college will be debt free. That's all I've got left. And but have something besides just the money. You know, we're helping other families to put meals on the table. We are helping change lives by providing them an opportunity to do what we're doing. And then, you know, don't give up. Because if I can sit here and do it and get to director, and it still took me 2 years to get that far, and even when I actually said I'm going to be, it still took me 3 months to finally get promoted. But the other day I told Jennifer that I wasn't going to be the slow turtle, that by the end of the year, at the first quarter at the latest, I was going to at least go 2 more, so be a senior director. And I've got a great team that they're excited. They are, they're rubbing off on each other. As far, you know, I've got some that weren't interested, and their excitement is starting to affect the other people on my team. So, you know, if you can build the excitement within your team, that helps tremendously. And just keep on going.
Now she can say that she doesn't have just 5 team members, she has 7 team members. And other team members are wanting to expand, and they want to promote, and they want to build a team. And I really feel like, Alina, it has a lot to do with your leadership and how you are spending that time with them, and you're rubbing off on them. And so, and like I said, guys, the reason why I wanted her to share was because, you know, yes, it's going to be hard, but at the same time, if you put hard work and dedication into anything that you set your mind to do, whether you're the slow turtle or you're the fast little rabbit, you can totally get there. And so thank you again, Alina, for sharing. And I can't wait to see what the end of the year successes look for you and your team, because you guys are going some pretty big places.
No, thank you. I can't wait either. They're great.
Yes, they are. Well,
And they actually, and what's really funny is several of them actually live in my hometown, and we have never met.
Well, now I'll give you an excuse to meet.
Yep.
Well, thanks again. Love, did Annette and them get on the call?
Yeah, Annette, you should
Oh,
talk through your phone.
Okay. All right,
Love,
Annette.
you got me unmuted.
Much better.
Okay. Much better. Okay. Wow. Great. All right. Well, guys, I just want to say to you that I love sharing this business opportunity, and I love seeing this business change people's lives. But sometimes it's a little bit intimidating to ask somebody, and sometimes it's hard for me to convey what we have and the opportunity that we offer to people. So I want to tell you a little story. I had this friend, and I met her last year at the softball field with my daughter, and I really liked her. She was a cool girl. We sat through the rain together. We had many good times, many laughs. But my friend was a Clemson graduate, and she was also an electrical engineer. And I was like, wow. she would be super cool to have on my Pampered Chef team, but she would never need anything like Pampered Chef because her life looked perfect. You know, I thought, she's got it all. She don't need me. Well, fast forward a little bit, and she and I got to talking, and I got to sharing with her that I had left my job and that I was having fun and that I was able to travel with softball. And you know what? She had a little need there too that she would like to do. So she decided to give it a try, and her name is Amy Livingston. Amy, you're on with us. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm here.
So Amy, I just would like to ask you a few questions, and if you would share with this group. Amy, tell us what it is that made you start. Why did you decide to start the Pampered Chef business?
Well, that's an interesting question, and it has a lot of different answers for me. First and foremost is probably the fact that my mother used Pampered Chef when I was younger, and I knew it was a very good product. And every time I had the opportunity to purchase Pampered Chef, I would do so at other parties. You know, when they used to have in-house parties, I would definitely go and purchase things there. And so when you brought up the fact that you sold Pampered Chef, you know, kind of bells and whistles went off in my brain. I didn't say too much at the time, but I was thinking, you know, that might help, you know, make it a little bit easier financially for us to afford all of the softball stuff that we're doing. So I just thought about it, and I kept listening to you, and I kept thinking about it, and I thought, you know, yeah, I may have a very good paying job, and I may look like I have all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, I put my pants on just like you do. And the more I make, the more I spend. And, you know, I definitely could use the extra income to pay for the things that my girls want to have. So I just kept listening. And when you said, you know, I really don't put a whole lot of time and effort into this business, I just want to show you what I do. I said, okay, you got it. And then I hosted that party. And I sat back and I just watched, and I looked and see how much you really actually had to do to make this party happen. And it was actually easy for me to pick it up and start commenting and thanking people for their orders. And I was like, well, you know what? I can do this. This is easy. A couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, and, you know, maybe a few hours on the weekend. I think I got this. And so that's when I agreed to be a consultant.
Well, you certainly have got it. That's for sure. The proof is there. Amy just shared the business opportunity with her first new person. But Amy, I do want to ask you this. What did you think after you started? And we know you decided to start, but what was it that you thought after you have begun this business? You've been in it a little over a month now. So what are your thoughts now?
You know, honestly, in the very beginning, it wasn't too overwhelming, but it was like, oh my goodness, what have I really got myself into? Because I had to set up all the website. I had to set up my business page. I had to post my party. And I was thinking, okay, initially it was like overload. And then finally I sat down and said, let me think this thing through. I got to put my engineer hat on and actually get organized and think everything through and put it in order as to how it's going to fall. And it actually started coming together really nicely. And then I started getting interested in, I can make this me. I can change the post my party post to be more from me and not just a template. So I started looking at how else can I add here, add there, but keep the same structure. So I looked at that a little bit. Also started investigating how can I put posts on my business page to attract attention and get people to like my business page. So in the beginning, it was a little overwhelming, but I think as I moved forward with the parties, I didn't start out with 4 parties a week. I'll be honest with you. Initially, I was like, yeah, I think I do 4 parties a week. And then once I got into it, I said, yeah, let me start with 2. So I started with 2, and then I had at least a whole month's worth booked up at 2 parties a week. And now as it's gotten easier every single week, I've been adding to that. And now I'm running close to 3. So it was a little overwhelming in the beginning, but right now it seems very easy to me. and I've only been doing this a little over a month. So as the weeks progress, it gets a lot easier. I actually ran my first bridal shower last week, and made over $700 in sales. And I catered that party just for that bride. So it was very fun for me to do. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking for more opportunities to cater the parties to my host. So it's just kind of one of those things that I enjoy doing. It doesn't seem like work to me.
No, it is fun work. I'll agree. Tell me a little bit about what you think about the training. Now, you work in a corporate America, and you are you certainly know the stresses of the Fortune 500 companies. So tell me what you think about our training in comparison to the traditional American company.
Well, training is very, very thorough, I will say. Definitely on the Pampered Chef website with Dash, and then also with the announcements on Love's page as well. It just took me a minute to figure out what I needed to do first. I needed to do the first 9 sections in Dash, and then I need to jump over and work on the announcements, the units on Love's page. So actually all the information is there. You just need a little guidance from your director to know that you need to start in Dash, and then you need to move over to units. And then after I got all that figured out, I was able to walk myself through it. And of course, Annette, I call you quite often and say, okay, what do I do now? And so as I'm asking those questions, I'm learning and writing it down and making sure I memorize it. So the next recruit I have, hint, hint, hopefully I'll get one today. But the next recruit I have, it'll be a lot easier for me to get her added on instead of having to call you and ask you all those questions. But all the information is there in the training. For sure, it's a lot more complete than it is in corporate America.
I would agree. Been there myself. So I've got 2 more quick questions for you. First of all, I want to know, what are you the most excited about moving forward?
Okay. Well, the one thing that has really kept me excited along the way is all the extra little surprises I get in the mail from Pampered Chef. So I've met all of my goals so far. I've gotten my 8-inch skillet. I've gotten my egg cooker. I've now qualified for my 10-inch skillet, and I am working on my knife block. And I've also gotten the insulated tote, and I just qualified for the lunch tote as well. So it's just all those little things that I see surprises in the mailbox, and I say, oh, it's just worth it. All this, it's really not a lot, but this work that I'm putting in, this extra work is actually worth it. And plus, look at my paycheck that I'm getting from Pampered Chef. So it's that added extra, you know, that paycheck that I'm going to use to pay for my girls' softball, or to pay for my girls' tuition for school. All of that is just, you know, it's just icing on the cake, and it makes it so much, you know, it just gives me such gratitude saying that this is definitely worth my time.
Doug, I know that everybody's muted, but just nod your head if you love those little extra added gifts that Pampered Chef gives us. I mean, I think that everybody here would be nodding, and I see an okay, yes, absolutely. So Amy, the last question here is, can you tell me, are you glad that I asked that I asked you to join Pampered Chef?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think, like I said earlier, we're all the same. We all put our pants on the same way. There's really no different. Yeah, I do have a higher education than the average, but I think at the end of the day, we all need to realize that you never know when anybody needs extra income, or what situation they may be in. Like we heard earlier, they needed a distraction. You never know when someone may need a distraction, or someone may need extra money. And so I greatly appreciate that, because I don't get asked very often, how are you doing? Or can I help you out anyway? Because everybody thinks that, oh, I have it all together, like you said initially. But at the end of the day, for the most part, everything is financially set. I just needed a little bit extra income just to make sure that my teenage daughters have what they want.
Well, I thank you so much. I know you have shared from the heart. And if any parents on here that has a kid that plays travel ball, you know what we're talking about expense wise. And especially if you have two like Amy, it is very expensive. So I thank you for taking your time. I thank you for opening up your heart and sharing with these ladies. And so I want to just move forward and say, guys, don't let what looks like the cover of a perfect book keep you from asking someone, because you never know when that's going to become one of your closest friends and when you're going to help that person in some way. As she was saying, just like Elena said, the distraction, or Amy, just a little bit for the softball, or for me, it was to pay for a driving class for my daughter. So you just never know what that person's needing. So go forth and ask, have a big ask list, just like Jennifer does. Okay. So that's it, love. Hopefully we've answered your questions, and I'll turn it back to you guys.
Annette, thank you so much. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
All right, I can't see. Thank you so much, Annette, for sharing it. Amy, thank you for sharing from your heart. And we're excited you're in our team, and I'm so excited that you're having such a good time with this and really enjoying yourself. So thank you guys for sharing tonight. And Annette, I'm glad you brought that up. Just ask. So guess what we're going to talk about tonight? That led us right into our training tonight, girlfriend. Thank you guys very much. So as I was listening to Annette talk and tell that story, so this certainly wouldn't be like someone that looked like they had it all together, and that someone would be intimidated to ask for the same reasons that maybe somebody would have been a little leery or afraid to step out of their comfort zone and ask Amy. But as she was talking, I figured there's a lot of you guys in here that have never seen this. So if this person was at your party, would you ask them? Let me see if I can get this to show up. So, okay. So this one right here, if this person was at your party, can you see that? And can you see it, Jennifer or Annette? I can't tell.
I can see it, yes.
Okay, so this is me. This one's my husband, so he didn't sign up. But anyway, if this person was at your party, would you ask them? So this was me when I went to my very first Pampered Chef party. And so most of you guys know I was a state trooper in North Carolina before I started this. And I loved my job. I had a wonderful career with the state. I was a big, bad state trooper. Everybody I stopped said, yes, sir, or no, sir. And I worked with all men. I had like the best job ever. So this was the furthest thing from my mind, being the home party lady. Okay, like big difference here, right? But you know, God had a plan and absolutely put this in my life. And I went to that party, and I wasn't one bit thinking about doing something like this, but a seed was planted. And I do remember the lady that did the party saying, I remember her saying that she was earning as much money with Pampered Chef doing 2 parties a week as she was at her full-time job. I'm working 60 hours at a vet clinic. I mean, I wasn't even looking for another job. I just remembered her saying that. It just planted a seed, but didn't think any more about it. And then I told her I was interested in maybe doing a party sometime because I wanted to get some stuff, but I was stationed in that county. I knew no one. I was the only female in law enforcement in that county at that time. This was back in 1994, and I didn't know anybody there. So I couldn't book a party because who was I going to invite? The 7 men I worked with? So I said, I might be interested, but I can't make any promises. So she said, well, I would be glad to keep you on my call list. She stayed in touch with me every 3 to 6 months. She never gave up on me. And 1.5 years later, I hosted a party, and it just happened to be at the right time. I wanted the kit and everything that came with it. I couldn't cook. I was newlywed, and my cooking needed all the help it could get. So I decided just to get the kit just because I wanted the kit, and I was willing to try a couple parties. So guys, you know, I was not looking for extra income when I signed up. I was just looking to learn how to cook something for my family. So there's so many reasons that people will do this job. Don't ever let what you think someone's going to think of you stop you from asking them. You just never know, okay? And you never know whose life you could bless, and it might not have anything to do with income, okay? They might just need to learn how to cook and get some great cooking products in their house, but they might just need an outlet and be able to have, they might have a very stressful job and want something really fun to do. I mean, you know, we have doctors that are in Pampered Chef. We have physician's assistants that are consultants in Pampered Chef. We have engineers that are consultants in Pampered Chef. We have Superior Court judges' wives that are consultants in Pampered Chef. Like, you just never know. This is like a really fun job to do and can turn into so much more for people. So don't ever worry about what you think someone else might think of you by stepping out of your comfort zone and asking, because you just never know that you could have something that they need. So that's what we want to help you with tonight, is really helping you focus on asking in your parties. And some of you might have been on here, and I think it was a month ago, a little over a month ago, that Jennifer Henderson shared on this call. And I want you guys to know, Jennifer Henderson is one of the top recruiters in the company. And she was in the top 5 in recruiting in the entire company last year. And Jennifer said on one of these calls, she goes, I haven't recruited anybody all week, this whole past week. And she said, you know why? She said, because I didn't ask anybody. So guess what? If you don't ASK, you don't GET, right? You just have to ask, because these people in your party, now, this might happen to you once or twice this year. So when it does, you can call me and say, what happened to me? but don't expect this, because chances are it's not going to happen. Most people in your party do not jump up and down and say, me, I want to sign up on your team. I want to sign up on your team. That's not typically the way a recruit comes onto your team, okay? They come onto your team because you asked, okay? There are the exceptions to the rule, but most of the time people come on your team because you asked them, okay? So Jennifer and I want to help you tonight with working through getting over your fear of asking, being able to identify who to ask in the party, have a plan to go into the party. Because I hear so many times from people that are like, well, I just can't recruit. I just can't get anybody recruited. I just can't recruit. And Jennifer will be the first to tell you, she's going to tell you in just a minute, that like, it's like a switch. Once you flip that switch, you just have a total different perspective. And it's just kind of getting that first recruit or those first 2 recruits, and then everything changes. Or just, once you promote, it just all changes. And it's so much easier. It's like when you're first getting started, it's like this big thing. But then once you figure it out, it's like nothing but a thing. You just ask people. And if you ask enough people, they'll sign up. That's all there is to it. So, and of course, as you're asking people, we want you to get comfortable with talking to people, how to talk to them, how to approach them about the business. So tonight we're going to give you how to approach them about the business, how to continue the conversation, how to overcome their objections, and how to get them to a yes, or how to get them to a decision. Like maybe yes is not the decision for them. Maybe it's not right now. Maybe it is a no. Maybe it is they're going to host a party to learn more about it. So we're going to teach you how to do that. So first of all, we want to plan for you, okay? So it's a total numbers game, okay? So I'm going to, let me get my little picture's having a hard time moving around. Hold on. Let me get this and then I'll screen share and then pull it. It's not moving around like it usually does. Okay, screen share. So I'm gonna give you a little formula here. So let me slide this over. Okay, y'all can see my screen, right? Here we go. Okay, so I know it's a little blurry, but I think you can see it, and I'll post this picture in the group, okay? So we want you to have a goal to have 6 ask per party, okay? Ask 6 people per party. So I want you to think for a minute. In your parties last week, did you really ask 6 people to join your team? Okay. Now, if you can say yes, and you asked 6 people last week, you probably recruited somebody last week if you asked 6 people in each of your parties. But let me show you how this works, okay? So your first 5 ask, like when I work a party, like the host is 1. So let's just take the host out of it. So now we're looking for 5 people in your party to send that rockstar message to. And the rockstar message can be as simple as, it can say something like, hey, Carrie, I've been seeing you in the party this week. You seem to be having so much fun. You're really great at this. I'm just curious, have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant with Pampered Chef before? I think you could be great at it. It could be as simple as that, or it could even be, hey, I've been seeing you in the party this week. You're really great at this. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? Like, it can just be so short and sweet and simple. The question is not really designed to recruit anybody. It's more designed to start a conversation. So your goal is just to go find 5 people to send this to, okay, per party. Now, some of my parties, I'll tell you, my parties that have more than 50 people in them, I typically send this to 10 people in those parties, plus the host, so that's 11, because you can do group insights and you can see who to send to. So I usually send it to 10 people plus the host. So that's even more in my parties where I get 50 people. And if you're not familiar with that, when you have 50 people in a party, if you go over to the left-hand side and click on Group Insights, and then go to More Member Details, and it will give you the top 10 active people in your party. So I friend request those and send that message to them. So the goal is, if your parties follow our typical program, your parties are running Monday through Friday, but your host started inviting the Friday prior. So you've been seeing people active in this party Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So by Monday night, the first day of the party, you have an idea of who those active people are. And Jennifer calls it her scouting day. Like she's scouting for people and she's seeing who's real active in the party and who those people are, and she's writing those people down. So by Monday, it depends on when you work your party. So if you work your parties at night, by Monday night, we want you to have identified at least 3 people who are active in that party and you can send that message to. If you work your parties in the morning, do it on Tuesday morning, okay? But by Monday night or Tuesday morning, we want you to have sent that rock star message to 3 people in that party and write those 3 people's names down. Then by Thursday, where we have the Ask Me, the Q&A, Ask Me Anything, or the different posts that have gone up about recruiting, you can go back and look at the fast track post, the question post, which benefit would you like most about Pampered Chef, those different posts, and see who the people are that have commented on those posts. And then those are also people that you should be able to identify 2 more people by Thursday night in that party, or by Friday morning, to wrap up your 5 ask for the week, okay? Plus you're asking your host, and we've talked before, and we'll cover this more about asking your host 5 times, but the first time that I ask my host starts with a double dip message, okay? And we'll share that. You guys all have this. It's in our host coaching. It's just not called this. And Carly, I think it was Carly Kirkwood that called it the double dip message on a call one time. I'm like, okay, I love that. I'm using that. So the Wednesday before their party, I send each of my hosts the double dip message. And it just basically says, hey, I just wanted to let you know, one of the great benefits of hosting a party with me is that you could, if you were interested in being a virtual consultant with Pampered Chef, we could use this party as your starter party, and you could actually earn both, being a new consultant, you could earn both the commissions and all of the fabulous August host rewards from the party. What do you think? Have you ever thought about it before? So I'll be honest, I don't sign a ton of people from that message, but I plant a good solid seed, because that message was sent on Wednesday prior to the party, separate and apart from all the other host coaching stuff. It's only about the business, and it really plants that seed. Every now and then I'll have somebody that wants to order their kit ahead of time, but most of the time I recruit a lot of my hosts, but I recruit them on the tail end. But there are some people that are like, oh yes, let's do this, show them the kits and they go for it. So that's the first part of asking your host. And we'll cover more about that, but that's your 6 asks. So let's look at, if you were asking those 6 people, okay, and you had 4 parties a week, let's look at what this looks like. So party 1, you've asked 6 people. Party 2, you asked 6 people, including your host. Party 3, party 4. So you have asked 24 people this week. So we want you to take your big ask list, and we've shared this in the fast track group, and we want you to write down the people that you ask, okay? So your goal is to ask 24 people. I'll only write down the people that have a 2-way conversation with me, because I know in each party, okay, I've sent my 6 people, I'm kind of writing it down on a party tracker, I've sent my 6 people. I'm more worried about the people that respond back. So if they respond back, that's when I put them on my ask list, okay? Typically 12 of them will respond back to you. So I want to be real clear about that. Typically 12 will reply back. So that means half of them did not even acknowledge that you sent them a message. And that is A-okay, all right? So don't worry about the fact that some of them didn't reply to you, okay? And sometimes the one that doesn't reply is this one over here, the host. No kidding, okay? You'll ask in the host coaching, they just totally don't even reply. So that's okay. Sometimes the 12 people that don't reply are the host. So, but typically half of them will reply. Okay. Now, when you're first starting with this, we say 1 in 10 will sign when you're having recruiting conversations. And so let's just say you contacted 12 back and forth people, you should sign 1 or more of them. And then as you get better with these recruiting conversations that Jennifer's going to go over tonight, then you might recruit 2 of those 12 people, but typically 1 in 10 sign. So that's kind of the ratio that we're working off of. So if you were to do this every week in your party and do the 24 ask per week, I can almost tell you would have your 5 recruits at the end of the month. Okay. Like, this is just math that works. It's just a numbers game. And then out of those 24 ask, some people are going to end up booking a party. So in my party that I had last week, in the party that I did the 12, the party that I did my one that had 50 people last week, the 10 people that I sent friend requests and the 10 ask that I sent out, there was about 3 of them that did, there's probably 4 that didn't reply. No, 3. There was 3 that didn't reply at all about the big ask question. Okay. Well, later in the party, that doesn't stop me. So I still send the booking question, right? And all 3 of them that didn't reply about the recruiting message booked a party with me. So there's that. Okay. So they didn't even answer me on the Rockstar message. Okay. So I could have easily just stopped there and thought, oh, they're not interested, so I'm not going to send this other message. But 2 days later, I just said, also, I got another question for you. And all 3 of them booked. Okay. So if you just do these reach outs, I'm telling you, you'll get the results. So we want you to track the people that respond, even if it's a no. You get credit for asking if it's a no. Okay. So track the people that reply back, and you're going to book parties from this list. Some people are going to tell you no, and that's totally okay. And then, just in case we have any new recruits on here tonight, when I get a no back, I really focus on making that person feel really good. Okay. So I'll say something like, oh, Darlene, you are so sweet to take your time to reply back to me today. I totally understand. Thank you so much for your honesty. Here's a yummy recipe for you and your family to enjoy. I hope you have a blessed day. And then I shoot off a little recipe, and then they reply back. Sometimes they don't reply. Sometimes they reply back and say, oh, this looks so yummy. I'm going to make this. Thank you so much. Like, what's the big deal? They said no. Like, I make them feel really good about themselves. And sometimes you've heard Jennifer talk about how it's not a no, not ever. It's just a no, not right now. So be sure, sometimes people, it's just a no, and you can tell that. But then sometimes they're like, oh, I'm just way too busy. Well, that's not a no. So then I just say, well, is this just a really busy time? Could I contact you in the fall or closer to the holidays? Or is this just not your thing? And I just give them an out. And then sometimes they will say this, it just isn't my thing. And I'm like, oh, I totally understand. But sometimes they're like, sure, absolutely. Contact me closer to the holidays. So just have conversations with people. Okay. The more conversations you have, the more people you are going to add to your team, and the more bookings you're going to get. So Jennifer's going to walk us through what some of these conversations look like. And Jennifer, I can screen share whenever you're ready.
Okay. So like Love said, guys, it's just simply a numbers game. And you definitely want to make sure that you ask your host, ask your host, ask your host, ask your host. And another thing too that I always want to make sure with my host is that if I'm talking to people inside of her party about the business opportunity, I let my host know. Because maybe your host is on the fence about joining your team, but whenever you let your hostess know that, like, Molly, Annette, and Shelly are interested in the business opportunity, then it kind of like maybe gets her mind to think like, oh, well, they're going to sign up, then maybe I should sign up. And then, I'm going to let them sign up underneath her. So, and then, if she's like, well, I'm not really sure, and they're not really sure. Well, let's say they're not really sure, but then they would book a party, so she would get those bookings. So definitely make sure that you're communicating with your host if you are talking to people within her party about the business opportunity. So Love is going to pull up one from, is it the one from Linda that you have?
Let's see.
Okay.
Well, it starts here. I can just start scrolling.
Okay, so to give you a little bit of background history on Tisha. Tisha was in a party of Linda's, okay? and Linda was my host for the week. She had an extremely active party. She was a great hostess of mine. And I had asked her a couple times about the business opportunity. She totally blew me off, okay? The hostess did. So I was like, okay, well, let me start working her party. So I went in and I simply said, now I probably sent her a friend request first. She accepted it. And then I have this short little sweet response where I say, hey, thank you so very much for accepting my friend request. I hope you're having loads of fun during the party. If you have any questions at all, feel free to call or text me as well. Here's my cell phone number, okay? Like, you want to be as personable to these people as you possibly can. Because it's not like at a cooking show where you can shake their hand, look at them in the eye, comment on their outfit, or like, oh my gosh, I love your earrings, or whatever. Okay, so have like a short and sweet conversation with them. So you got to do this virtually. And so a couple days into the party, I noticed that Trisha was very active in the party. And I simply said, hey, Trisha, so I've been watching you during the party and you're really good at this. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? No. I've never even bought Pampered Chef before. I've heard it's amazing stuff though. Okay, so this is where I think a lot of people get hung up on, like, how am I supposed to respond to that? Okay, so the more confidence you have within your business and with your with what you're selling, the more confident you make it sound. Okay, so a lot of times my response back to anything is, well, I would love to send you some more information about it. Okay, she said, okay, that's fine, thank you. So I sent her the information. Scroll down a little bit, love. I said, you're so very welcome. I went to my Become a Consultant link. I sent her the link. And then I said, then we are having a live Q&A on Thursday too. Okay, I will look through the information. All right, so scroll up a little bit. Now, hold on really quickly. So with me being a great consultant, I should have reached back out to Tish, made sure that maybe she got the invite to the Q&A, or making sure that she didn't have any questions about the business opportunity that I had sent her. Like, do a 24, 48 hour like check-in. And normally it would be something like, hey, just wanted to check to see if you had any questions about the information that I sent you the other day. Sometimes they say, well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even had a chance to look at it. Or, yes, I have some questions, but I want to talk to my husband first. Or, I'm not really sure if it's a good fit for me. Or, right now it's not a good time. Or, like, guys, listen, like, you hear you hear so many examples of the situation. So if they're kind of unsure, unless they tell me, no, thank you, I'm not interested, or it doesn't sound like a great fit for me, then I'll come back and say, hey, what we could do is we could go ahead and get you a party scheduled, since you're already doing what my hostess does for the week. And if you decide between now and then that you think the business would be a great fit for you, we can do what's called a launch party. That's where you double dip into the savings, making the commission off of your party and getting the hostess rewards. But if you decide not to before the party starts, you can also use a $25 or $50 kit credit. How does that sound? Let's get you a party booked, okay? I mean, you can kind of tell in someone's tone if they're just not really ready right yet, okay? So this lady right here, same thing. I'd sent her a friend request, and I said, scroll up just a little bit. Hey, Tiana, so I've been watching you during the party. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? She came back and said, I was when I first got married 25 years ago. Loved the product then and still love it now. Did not enjoy the parties as much. All the cooking demonstrations and such. I love the new outline concept though. Having a girls' night tomorrow was going to see if I had any interest for me to do an online party. And then I came back, and you always want to be very positive and try to keep it short and sweet. With the new virtual parties, you never have to do a cooking show ever again. Yes, you should totally. Well, would you like some more information about the business opportunity? Like there again, like without hesitation, sure, you're welcome to send me the info. My email is, well, instead of emailing it to her, I just went ahead and sent it to her. I said, it's actually a link you can look at. Let me grab it. And so I sent her the business opportunity. Now, me and her have had a couple of conversations back and forth. Let's see. She said, thank you. I'll look into it. I said, you're welcome. And we can totally get you a party booked. And then a couple of days later, she said, is it too late to add the utensil holder to my order? I didn't see it, and mine is 25 years old. I've searched everywhere for one like it, not available. Mine is a little well loved. I said, you sure can. We have the stainless steel one. She said, blah, blah, blah. We came back and forth. Yes, ma'am. Here again, I mentioned it to her. Have you thought any more about the business opportunity? She came back and said, I'm contemplating it still. We'll try and make a decision soon. Need to read up on the info you sent me. I know I can do it. My job I have now would allow me to invest the time. Man, my eyesight's getting pretty bad. I just am very unsure if I can book enough shows consistently to make it worth it. And then I said, well, how many Facebook friends do you have? A little over 300. Oh, girl, you have plenty of friends. Then you learn how to meet new friends in the parties, just like how we met. I may send a few texts out to friends from different groups and see if they would host a party if I decide to sell. Let me do a little research this week. I'll get back to you. I said, okay, or you could first host, then use the kit credit. Sounds great. Okay. So these were the people that were inside of Linda's party. Let's see, keep going.
If only we knew this was following, you could have read this.
Okay, so here's another girl, Lisa. She was someone else that was in Linda's party. So Linda, like I said, blew me off, did not want nothing to do with the business opportunity. Love will show her our conversation in just a minute. But I was also working the people in her party, okay? Hey, Lisa, so I've been here, guys, look. So I've been watching you this week and you're a pro at this virtual party. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? She said, I have. I'm just still on the fence. I said, so let me ask you, what's stopping you? Honestly, just the fact that I'm constantly running. I said, so you know that I don't post these parties, right? She said, no, what do you mean? So I use a posting service. It does the posting for me. And do you guys see how I'm like really short and sweet? I'm not giving them like, well, you can earn this amount of commission and you earn this free product and you do this and you do that. And like, you don't want to be that salesperson that as soon as someone answers the door, they see you coming and they walk the other way. Kind of like, like the old Hoover vacuum cleaner people, those like spray bottle people. They used to come and be like, hey, I've got this product that I want to sell you. And they're telling you all about the product. And the next thing you know, like you just like slam the door in their face. So you just give them a little bit of information and let them come back to ask you another question. Okay. She said, I had no idea there was such a thing. I said, crazy, right? So yes, this business and work right alongside your schedule. I would love to send you some more information about the business opportunity. Please do. I am interested in hearing more about it before I decide one way or the other. You got it. Then just ask me anything. Okay. And then I sent her the information. Okay, now Linda, on the other hand, was a very stubborn hostess of mine who has now turned out to be a fast track director. But I love sharing her story because Linda gave me every single excuse in the book as to why she did not want to do this Pampered Chef business. Okay. So I think this might have been actually whenever she had like finally turned the switch and said, no, wait, this is the beginning. She wanted to do a Facebook party, but after the holidays. I said, yes, let's do it. Double free stuff month in January. Well, can it be the end of January? I want people to get over Christmas before. I said, it sure can. Would you like the week of the 27th? Okay, so go to the next slide. Okay, so I don't know how early on this was, but I asked her, I wanted to ask you if you have ever thought about being a virtual consultant before. You're really good at this. No, I just like to try to win. And I work, so I'm getting nothing done during the day. I said, you do know that I don't post all these posts, right? This must have been before her party. So this was before we had booked her party, and then she decided to book a party because she told me that she was interested in the business opportunity. So scroll down, love. Yep, so this was me contacting her before her party started. And I even asked her if she had given any thought to the business opportunity. She avoided my conversation right there. See, she never responded. And then she had some questions about inviting her guests. Keep going. Okay, here again. I said, have you thought any more about business opportunities? She said, no, I am too busy all the time. I said, you know, I don't post all these. How do you do it? I use the posting service. It does it all for me. You get a percentage of the sales on each party. So I sent her the commission chart. We asked about how many people were in the party, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, keep going. Okay, so then I told her we need to get her to 650 because it was double free stuff month, okay? And then I was like, girl, your party is at 773. I said, I know, right? There are a few ladies very active in the party that I'm going to talk about the business to. And if they decide to sign up, I would want them to sign up under you. So think about it and just keep me posted. And any party you get booked would be yours. She said, I have someone that wants to order, but not online. Can I do it and let her write a check? So like she totally avoided my question. We were talking about an order. Okay. Then let's see. Okay, here again. I ask her again, hey, have you thought any more about the business opportunity? If so, you have a $50 kit credit. No, just don't think I have time to do it. I said, okay, just want to make sure. Have you asked anybody about hosting yet? Yes, 2 people. Oh, yay. They said they have already done that. I can keep trying. What is the incentive for February? Gosh, love this. It must be my computer screen, but this writing is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay, so you're telling her you're talking to somebody. She sends you a screenshot of some people in the party, and you tell her that you're talking to them about the business too.
Okay. And then she said, when are you going to tell how much the person made? Oh, that was about the paycheck game.
Which we don't do anymore.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. She said she was going to use that for some leverage. So I think again, okay, her party got to 1,000, and then I started telling her who all was interested in the business opportunity. So scroll down.
So Leisha, Kelly,
Tiona. Yep. And then she said, yeah, I've been telling them to party. And you're sure about the business, right? She said, Kelly Davis will do a party. Yay. How many parties do you do a month online? I said, anywhere from 4 to 6 a week. She said, do you do any other than that? I said, not until, let's see. Okay, that's the
I think I might
same.
have got it posted twice.
Okay, yeah, we go. Keep going. Okay. So, I said I might do a cooking show once every couple of months or a cala party. I was just wondering how to network because all my people are just work people. And so kept going. I think I even asked her again. Okay, here she said, how much if is it to become a consultant? So now she started asking me questions. So I sent her a picture of the kit. Keep going. That's that same one. Okay, what do I do to do the parties? I'm not that good on the computer either.
So do y'all see this? This is funny. She says, how many people do you have under you? Jennifer goes, a lot. Short and sweet answers, a lot.
But like we kept going back and forth. So like she told me she didn't have enough time. Then she told me she wasn't good at the computer. And then I think she told me something else too. Oh, then we kept going back and forth. Somebody wanted to add to an order. Keep going.
Here we go. Saturday
said,
at 11:32.
I am going to do the business thing. I said, yay. I'll just need some helping getting started, I think. And like I said, she never once said, if she would have told me, Jennifer, I'm not interested in the business, don't ask me again, go fly a kite somewhere else, I would have stopped and never once asked her again. But because 9 times out of 10, every time I ask her, she avoided the conversation, okay? So I wanted to pull up a more recent one because this has been a while. And this lady.
You want me to stop screen sharing, Jennifer?
Yeah, I'm going to show, yep, another one.
There you
go. Okay, so I'm going to show. Oh, that's something else. Okay, I'm going to show y'all that in just a minute too. But I had it pulled up and then everybody kept sending me messages. So let me grab this real fast. Okay, so this lady was really active in the party. All right, so the very beginning of the party, I have like a picture of this recipe and they have to actually comment with an emoji that they want the recipe. So I sent her the recipe. We have later became friends, but this is how like you kind of get your foot in the door, okay? Because they're expecting you to send them something. So they're on the lookout in that little other message box. So I sent her the recipe and I said, enjoy. She gave me a thumbs up, okay? So apparently it says you can now call each other and see information like active status and when you've read messages. Okay, so I watched Lisa and I said, hey Lisa, so I've been watching you this week and you're a pro at this virtual party. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? She said, I'm a COVID shut-in, laugh out loud. I am retired and never want to work again. Laugh my honey off. My freedom is so sweet. I have very few friends in my world. How do you like consulting? Like, okay, so she told me she was a shut-in. She told me she was retired. She told me she never wanted to work again, and she loves her freedom. Like, and she has very few people in her world, okay? Like 5 reasons, like she did not want to become a consultant. I was a marine engineer, married 31 years, 4 kids. I never had much contact with the world until divorce 7 years ago, kind of my second childhood these days. Like I said, guys, sometimes you have no earthly idea what in the world you're going to get whenever you ask people about the business opportunity, okay? You have to just kind of roll with the punches, okay? I came back and I said, I love my business with Pampered Chef. Love meeting new people and helping folks in the kitchen. Well, you never know until you ask. If the business isn't a good fit for you, we could get you a party booked since you're pretty much doing what my hostess does for the week. See how like I didn't try to like poke the pig. Like she gave me a bunch of reasons, and instead of like making her upset with me, I was like, oh, I love my business. Oh, I would love to, get a party booked with you since you're already doing the business opportunity. Maybe, but I don't have many friends really. I said, well, we can give the virtual party a shot and just see what happens. I will send some catalogs, and you can also text or email the link to people not on Facebook. She said, I can try it maybe in a week or two. I would like to review material. Would the week of September 14th work for you? Or I have August 24th, because she said in a week or two. So I didn't really want to push her too far out. Let me think about it a day or two. Kathy says, go for it. Laughed my honey off. Yes, just go for it. So then she sends another thing because, like I said, depending on how my party lays out, I have a post in there about what an extra $500 could do for your family a month. She said $500 a week or a month. Well, I need to look at this opportunity closer, I guess. 500 is a lot to me. I think I could use it to get a new car. I'm driving a 2002 Hyundai Accent with 13-inch wheels, standard, in the shop this very minute, getting $675 worth of repairs. Sigh, money comes and goes. I said, you totally could. I would love to send you some more information about the business opportunity. Some consultants earn $500 a week. You can earn whatever you wish to earn. So I sent her the Become a Consultant link. I told her, here's the link to look over. Then she comes back and she says, I am registered for the webinar on August 18th at 8 p.m. I said, oh, yay. Well, in the meanwhile, would you like to get a party scheduled? Plus, if you decide to sign up before your party, here's what I was telling y'all. We could run your party as a launch party. That's where you double dip into the savings, playing the hostess, earning the free product. Oh, that must have been a auto text. And the consultant earning the commission off the party. She said, I can't right now, but I might later on. Well, at the very end of this party, because I still send text messages to every single person that orders, I can probably pull up my text message. What was her name? Lisa. Maybe. No, it's not going to let me. Okay. I didn't save her name in my computer, in my cell phone whenever I did the thing. But she told me that she was going to get back to me in a week, that she could post some things inside of her apartment complex. I guess they have like this bulletin thing, and that she would be interested in hosting a show with me. But see, guys, like if I were to just like stopped with her and not kept asking her, I really feel like that I wouldn't have had the opportunity that I did with her. So it's all about how you do it. You don't seem pushy. And once they tell you like, you can kind of get like, the hint, like go fly kite, then just, bless and release. Like Love said, thank them for their honesty, send them an amazing recipe, and they can't get mad at you about it. Now, I've also too had hostess that, because I had talked to them a couple of times about the business opportunity, that it wasn't a right time for them right away. But then I had a lady come back and reach out to me a couple weeks later and said that her job had gave her an early retirement. So she decided to go ahead and take the plunge and sign up with Pampered Chef. But I feel like if I wouldn't have made that opportunity with her and made that contact with my hostess about the business opportunity, I would have missed that opportunity. Maybe she would have went to somebody else's party. Maybe she would have signed up underneath another consultant. But because I had planted that seed with her, she contacted me a couple weeks later, and it was a right time. Because guys, life shifts and changes constantly, and we never know what kind of lemon we're going to be handed. So you got to make sure you You talk to people about it. If they tell you right now is not a good time, start what I used to have, what's called a Think About It group. And it was a group on Facebook that you asked them if it was okay for you to put them in a Think About It group. And, you could put the hostess specials in there. You could put some motivational things in there. Just share more about your business with them in this group. Because like I said, again, you never know who you plant a seed with. And, when the time comes, it's going to come back and they're going to think of you because you asked them about the business opportunity. So any questions?
Jennifer, can you show them real quick, or I can, either one? We need to show them how to pull the Be a Consultant link.
Yeah, I can.
And guys, when Jennifer, while she's pulling this up, once you get your Be a Consultant link, you want to save it. Like I have mine saved in my Google Calendar and saved in notes in my phone, so you don't have to keep going and getting it. Save it somewhere in your computer and then save it like on a notepad on your phone. And then that way you have that to send out, because that's the link that Jennifer's sending to all these people she's having conversations with.
Okay, so if you go into Consultants Corner, you come up here in the top right-hand corner, you can go to View Personal Website. There's different ways you can go, but this to me is sometimes just the easiest one. And then it's going to come up to your actual website, and you're going to come right here where it says Be a Consultant. You're going to click on that, and then like Love said, you're going to come up here, you're going to copy it, and you can come right here into your note section of your phone, do a new note, and you can paste it, and that way you've got it. It's easy. If you don't have an iPhone, you can save it in your note section on your Android, but there you go. So it's right there. Or if you use Google Calendar, you can put it in your Google Calendar as I guess an event or a task. But anyways, that's where the Become a Consultant link is at.
And Jennifer, I know you had a booking tip you were going to give them that you had pulled up earlier.
Yes, so let me share with you guys this booking tip. Now, this was actually shared, I'm trying to think, and there I just lost it. This was in someone, oh, there it is. Someone had shared this with us, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been, I don't remember, Love. Okay, but let me find it. This one has been really good for me inside of parties right now. And I shared it with my team. Hold on a minute. Sorry, y'all. Just close your eyes for a minute so you don't get sick here, motion sickness. Okay, my goodness, I know what this wrote down, but hold on, we're almost there. All right, well, here's one, since we're passing this one. We can share this one inside of the Fast Track group. You guys have probably already seen it. It's about the free gift thing. Who wants some free PC? We'll share that one. And then here is the next one. I know I'm getting close. Right here, okay. This one I'm posting inside my parties, like on Thursday. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna post, if you love Pampered Chef, pick the number of your favorite ice cream below. So you would, of course, use this ice cream 1 through 8. Or you can change it up and say, if you love Pampered Chef, pick the number of your favorite candy below, okay? You may just win a prize. So as they answer inside the party, then what I'm doing is I'm sending them this right here. Hey, you picked number 8. You want a free ceramic egg cooker or a pair of mini oven mitts. And guys, listen, you can change this to say anything. It can say a mini nylon serving spatula. It can say an ice cream scoop. It can say the kernel cutter, like anything. We have an amazing selection of 12 and under inside of our catalog, okay? And the way that you do this, you're not really paying the full price for it, okay? When you have a virtual party with me in, here again, you fill in the blanks. If you need August bookings, you put August in there. If you need September bookings, you put September in there. You'll get tons of free and discounted products, not to mention I do all the work. Would you love to run a party for you? I would love to run a party for you, okay? Like I said, I've had a lot of successes from this. And of course, sometimes they'll say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. But then that way you already know. And a lot of times, like, this also gets people that don't order from the party to where you can ask them about hosting a show with you, okay? And then if I'm not friends with them, normally what I'll do is I'll just go underneath their number and I'll say, I sent you a PM, or I'll send you a private message, so they know that they're looking for it. And I'm trying to think if I had one more. This is something that you can send to guests in the party that is ending or in past parties. I'll also share this as well, okay? This is about, and Lovish mentioned this in the past, about surprising the hostess about a booking. Maybe they didn't order from the party. So I'll share that. I'll share those 3 different tips that I had inside my team page. I'll share them inside the Fast Track group.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jennifer. So y'all got a lot of information tonight on bookings and recruiting, but when we start talking about recruiting, remember that's also going to help you with bookings, because as you're doing those things, that's going to help you add more bookings to your calendar. So pick 2 things from tonight's call that you are going to go do this week in your parties. And we want to challenge everybody. We're going to do a fun challenge this week on the Fast Track page. And this is posted in there. Go to files, and the big ask list is posted in there. And we want to see who can fill this up with 20 ask from your parties this week. And if you don't have a full week of 4 parties this week, you can cheat a little bit and go back to last week's parties and send out messages from last week's parties. We don't care where you send them, okay? But the names that go in here need to be people that replied. Even if it's a no, you get credit for a no, but you're getting credit for 2-way conversations, not going and pushing out 60 messages. Pushing out 60 messages is great because you're going to get stuff back, but we just want you to take the time to track what you're actually getting back, okay? So any 2-way conversation about the business. And then when you fill up, there's 20 on a sheet. So when you fill up 20, snap a picture of it and post it. And let's have a little competition this week and see how many of you guys can get to 20 ask about the business, okay? Because guys, I'm telling you, this absolutely works. You will have leads to work with and people that we can help you with if you do this week. The word of the call is. The word of the call is okay? So everybody got that? The word of the call. And next week you want to tell them, Jennifer, we're working to put something in place?
Yes. So we're working to have a guest speaker who is another national executive join our call next week to share some pretty amazing booking tips with you guys. So you want to make sure that you join in next Monday night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. Well, guys, give yourselves a pat on the back and congratulate yourself for taking this time to invest in your business. And now don't just listen tonight. Take these things that you learned and go put them in practice in your parties this week. Reach out to your director if you need help with the things that you're trying or clarification on the things that you're trying, and come back with us next week. And we are going to hit bookings again really hard next week. So you guys have a great week. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.